Arlie Russell Hochschild's The Second Shift, Working Families and the Revolution at Home is a landmark sociological study exploring the intersection of work, family, and gender roles. Published in 1989, it delves into the challenges faced by working parents, especially women, who juggle both paid employment and unpaid domestic labor. Hochschild introduced the concept of the second shift to describe the additional responsibilities women shoulder at home after their workday, a term now integral to discussions on gender equity and work-life balance. The context of the study. Hochschild's research was conducted in the 1980s, a period marked by a significant increase in women participating in the workforce. Despite this change, societal norms around domestic responsibilities remain stagnant, disproportionately affecting women. Her study draws on interviews with 50 working couples and in-depth observations of 12 families. The findings expose the persistent inequality in how work and family duties are divided, with women bearing the brunt of the emotional and physical toll. Hochschild's analysis challenges the assumption that more women in the workforce would naturally result in gender equality. Instead, she uncovers the phenomenon of a double day, where women work both in the office and at home, engaging in childcare, household chores, and emotional caregiving, tasks collectively referred to as the second shift. Key themes and findings. 1. The unequal division of labor. A central theme of Hochschild's work is the stark disparity in household labor between men and women. Even in dual-income households, women disproportionately take on more domestic tasks and childcare. Hochschild categorizes gender ideologies that shape these dynamics. Traditional, men see themselves as primary breadwinners, leaving domestic work to women. Egalitarian, both partners aim to share responsibilities equally. Transitional, couples attempt a balance, but women often still bear the heavier load. Even in so-called egalitarian households, true equality in domestic labor is rarely achieved, with women bridging gaps between societal expectations and practical realities. However, 2. Emotional labor and caring work. Hochschild highlights emotional labor as a critical yet undervalued component of the second shift. Women often manage their family's emotional well-being, organizing events, resolving conflicts, and nurturing relationships. This constant mental and emotional engagement exacerbates the stress of balancing work and home life, leaving women exhausted and unrecognized for their efforts. Putter 3. The role of social structures. The second shift is not merely a personal or family issue, but is deeply rooted in broader social and structural systems. Workplace policies, cultural expectations, and economic conditions frequently fail to support working families. Limited parental leave, unaffordable childcare, and rigid work schedules often force women to make difficult compromises between professional and domestic responsibilities. 4. The impact on relationships. Inequities in household labor can create friction in relationships, fostering feelings of resentment and dissatisfaction. Women may feel overwhelmed and unsupported, while men often perceive themselves as unfairly criticized. Hochschild's interviews reveal how couples struggle to navigate these dynamics, often defaulting to traditional gender roles as a coping mechanism. This imbalance can also influence parenting quality. Women stretched thin by the second shift may have less time and energy to dedicate to their children, while men less engaged in domestic life may feel disconnected from parenting. Hochschild's The Second Shift remains a foundational text for understanding the enduring challenges of achieving gender equality in work and family life, as well as the societal reforms needed to support working families more equitably. Theoretical implications. Hochschild's work builds on feminist theories critiquing patriarchal structures in domestic labor, but she extends these critiques by examining how individuals navigate these dynamics in their everyday lives. Her concept of the second shift intersects with theories of gender performance, power dynamics, and emotional labor, providing a nuanced perspective on how societal expectations influence personal behavior. Contemporary relevance. Although The Second Shift was published over 30 years ago, its themes remain highly relevant. Despite progress in gender equality, many of the issues Hochschild highlights persist. Women continue to shoulder the majority of domestic and caregiving responsibilities, even in dual-income households. The COVID-19 pandemic brought these inequalities into sharper focus as remote work and school closures disproportionately affected working mothers. Hochschild's work has also inspired ongoing research on work-life balance, workplace flexibility, and the economic significance of unpaid labor. Her findings have informed policy discussions on parental leave, affordable childcare, and gender equity in the workplace, making her research a cornerstone for contemporary debates on these topics. Critiques and limitations. While the second shift is celebrated as a groundbreaking work, it has faced criticism. Some scholars argue that Hochschild's focus on middle-class, heterosexual couples narrows the scope of her analysis, leaving out the experiences of single parents, same-sex couples, and working-class families. Additionally, the book does not extensively address racial and cultural differences in how families manage work and domestic life. Critics also note that Hochschild's emphasis on fostering egalitarian partnerships may not be feasible for all families. Structural reforms, such as improved workplace policies and government-supported caregiving, are essential but receive comparatively less attention in her analysis. Practical applications. Despite its limitations, Hochschild's research provides actionable insights for individuals and policymakers alike. Couples can use her findings to evaluate their division of labor and strive for more equitable arrangements. Organizations can leverage her work to implement family-friendly initiatives, such as flexible schedules and on-site childcare. On a broader scale, the second shift emphasizes the need for systemic change. Achieving gender equality requires not only challenging traditional roles, but also creating institutional frameworks that support working families. The Second Shift by Arlie Russell Hochschild is a seminal sociological work that critiques gender inequality at work and home. Through detailed research and compelling narratives, Hochschild sheds light on the hidden burdens carried by working women and urges society to rethink the structures that perpetuate these disparities. By coining the term second shift, Hochschild gave a name to an issue long ignored. Her work continues to resonate, serving as both a wake-up call and a call to action for a more equitable future. Whether through individual changes, cultural shifts, or systemic reforms, the lessons from the second shift remain vital for addressing the complexities of modern family life.